There we go.
There we go.
Let's see.
And
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
welcome.
There it is. Okay, I see it on YouTube channel.
You see it?
Yeah. All right. So we're live on YouTube, and then
Let's see.
hey, if you are watching this, whenever you're watching this is what happens when you do these live.
Oh, yep. We're rocking and rolling on Instagram now too.
And you see it on Instagram.
Yep. Hey y'all.
Oh, I love it. Okay, boom. Go ahead, take us away.
All right. So welcome everybody. Come on in. The cousins have united. So if anybody knows, they know I love to work with my family and my cousins. At this point, I have hired over the last 2 decades. I have hired at least 5 or 6 cousins. Beautiful. In some way, shape, or fashion, from personal training to consulting to virtual assistants to marketing, you name it. If they got talent, come on with me. It's going to be a family business. So I'm partnering today and hopefully in the future for many episodes with a cousin that a lot of people on the East Coast have never met, my first cousin, Bruce Hill. So welcome. So we will be talking about business because that's what we love to do.
That's what we love to talk about.
So Bruce, you want to introduce yourself and tell the audience, what makes you special? And
so my name is Bruce Hill. Our parents are siblings, biological siblings. So we're actual cousins. We'll come up with a fancy name, but the Business Cousins podcast is literally that. We were having these conversations when we reconnected, and I was telling her like, hey, I've been speaking. I've written 4 books at this point. I've started coaching and consulting. And she's sharing her entrepreneurial journey. I said, man, this is what an actual podcast needs to be about. Like something that's going to help people from where they are to where they want to go. And she said, let's do it. And I said, all right, let's go. And so here we are. Well, that was last month, right? So success, love, speed. There was a little bumps and bruises, but we got here pretty quickly.
Indeed. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, and I'm excited. If you don't know, for those of you on Bruce's audience, I am Tasha Cooper Ware. I'm excited to talk about all the bumps and bruises I've had in the fitness and wellness industry and entrepreneurship, and give you what we got, and give you the information that we would love to share with you guys about our journey, and answer any questions you may have about how to make your journey a little bit easier.
Ooh, make a note of that. We should do a questions, like a Q&A segment.
Indeed.
Yeah, that'll be good. So I think I'm really excited about this. One, because I do love working with family. I think a lot of people tell you not to. Mm-hmm. But my only piece of advice is you got to judge the character. Exactly. So you can't excuse bad character just because they're related to you. But we've had great success with working with our family. So we hope to share our best practices and things we could improve on. But you're a full-time entrepreneur. Yes. I still work a 9 to 5. And so our goal isn't to tell you which one's best, is to help you figure out what's best for you. I think that's a big thing we want to cover. So how long have you been an entrepreneur? Let's go there.
I have been an entrepreneur for 9 years now.
Sheesh.
Yes, I've been self-employed. My husband's always like, you did it. I mean, most people don't make it past the first year, let alone almost 9 years. So I didn't even know I was considering it entrepreneurship in the beginning. I just knew I needed to do something different. Right. I had been working for corporate for 15 years. The glass ceiling was real, and I don't believe in staying anywhere where I don't feel valued. So I decided to create my non-glass ceiling and to move on and share my gifts with other people and build our own house. So
that really could be a whole series right there. So I became an entrepreneur on accident. I didn't have that moment where you said, hey, I'm not doing this anymore. I was trying to get a promotion.
Me too.
So I was trying to get a promotion, and I was working for a great company. I was rocking it. I was top 5 in our region. At one point, I was top 100 nationwide, back-to-back President's Club Sales Awards. And they're like, well, you don't have enough experience to be a manager. And it's the chicken or the egg. Well, how am I going to get managerial experience if you don't train me to be a manager.
Mm-hmm.
So I started volunteering at Toastmasters. If you haven't heard of Toastmasters, it's an organization to help you with leadership and communication. So I didn't even join. I just was volunteering. I was helping people practice their speeches, confidence, communication. And one day, someone said, "Hey, Bruce, thanks so much for your help. Everything you taught me helped me land my dream job. How much do I owe you?" And I'm like, you know, you don't want to say a number too low.
Yeah.
So it's $100, right? 3 hours, $100. That sounded amazing where I was at that time. It ain't $100 an hour anymore. Okay.
Yeah, clearly.
So that's like, oh wow, so much. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They put 520s in my hand, and like that's where I became an entrepreneur. I was like, oh man, this is kind of cool. That's where the journey started.
So I would say mine started, it was a little bit of an overlap because personal training, you are your own business, even if you work for corporate. And what I was doing for corporate was the manager side. I was a fitness manager. I managed different locations, and it was time for me to be regional. So to your point, with the experience, the only way to do it is to get all of them. I had 1 or 2. It's time for me to have all 30 of them. And what I learned in managing is that I loved teaching. I loved training trainers and helping them become the best trainer they could be. Not like me, because I was a ballerina. They could never be the kind of trainer I was, but some of them were boxers, or, you know, they were power lifters, or they played sports. So to try to help them build themselves within this corporate structure is where I started to find some of my skills. But I was training people outside of the corporate, which that's where you count the money. You're like, oh,
it's your money.
It's mine.
You give the company a piece, and then they give you the sliver.
A sliver.
It's
so
yours. Yeah.
It was mine. So that's what I guess that was my first instance of becoming an entrepreneur. But again, these weren't terms that I even thought of using.
No.
I didn't even consider myself an entrepreneur, honestly, until the last couple of years. Even though I was self-employed, I didn't think of it as entrepreneurship, which...
That's a big... Hold on. Let's stop right there. What's the difference between self-employed and entrepreneurship?
That's a good question. Because I feel like presently I'm an entrepreneur because I work with other businesses to grow something bigger than just a one-to-one service, a one-to-one pain point solving. You know, I think it's a little bit more multifaceted. Whereas before it was, I'm a trainer, I train people. That's the business. That's it. But as an entrepreneur, I feel like it's more layered. There's so many other things that need to happen to really grow something into an entity that I can employ my cousins.
And that's the difference. A lot of people, last I checked, as high as 80% of businesses have less than 5 employees.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks go from a job in corporate to a job, but they just happen to work for themselves. But it's still a job to a job. Very few make it to building a business where we've got employees, we've got systems, we've got SOPs. And that's one big transition I'm making next year. It's starting today, but every year is, okay, how do we build a business where if I take a day off, the business doesn't?
Right. Yes, I think where I am now is I work with more consultants that I hire as my advisory board to grow the business, which gives me that opportunity to have a day off because I know the post is going to go up. I know the marketing is going to be done. There's work being done without me having to do it.
There we go.
So but it's not the same as having to manage other coaches and employees right now. It's just totally, totally different. So I'm enjoying that process right now of working with my consultants and my advisory board.
Would you say the journey has been fun along the way?
It's been fun. Yeah. I'm on this podcast with you today because it's fun. There are no rules. No one can tell me how to flip my hair that day, or you have to wear this shirt, or don't do that, or don't say that. I feel
that's my favorite one. Oh, we just don't feel your hair is professional. I'm like, it's my hair. I
It's my
grew
head. It came out of my head. Exactly.
it.
And I like to change mine. Today it looks like this, and another day I might have braids. I might have a vacation next tomorrow. So I do what I want. In the
I
words of
do
my
what I
husband,
want.
it's your head. Do what you want with it. But I feel like that's how my business is my business, is my entrepreneurship journey. So I do what I want with it. If I want to keep pushing and I want it to grow. But at the end of the day, I feel like you have to want to grow as a person for anything to grow around you.
Now you're singing my song. This is exactly why my business is called New Skills, New You. I believe if you grow your people, you grow your business.
Mm-hmm.
And that people might be person, right? It's just you right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Everybody starts at the beginning. But if you grow your people, everything around you in your life, in your business, your relationships grows. And that's really the focus. So if you look up, you say, hey, New Skills, New You, type that in, you're going to see a lot of different things on personal, professional development with an emphasis in sales skills. But the most valuable thing about this journey has been where I grow.
Exactly. And that's where I am today. And I've had employees over the, I mean, I have payroll, my mom is an HR executive. So I'm, tapped in, but also people grow and they change and they have different aspirations, and it may have nothing to do with your business, but where you want it to go and where your vision is taking it, they may have other life things going on. So I think that, the flow of having consultants to having employees, I think there's an ebb and flow. I think, and you grow. What I've learned from my consultants and what they've learned from me, they're also growing, even though they're not technically employees per se.
Understood. Well, contractors, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you would say a contractor. I guess you could say that. So what would you say made you, once you got the money that first time, what would you say really pushed you into the entrepreneurship in the first place? What made you say, let me keep going though?
It was December. Oh man, was it 2014? My buddy calls me. Shout out to Ekundayo Giliki. And he's like, Bruce, we're going to read 12 books next year. And that's just how kind of amazing friends that I have, because, fantasy football league, we're going golfing, all fun things. But he's like, hey, we're going to read 12 books next year. And so he's like, pick your books, start in January. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I was home on over the Christmas break between Christmas and New Year's, and I picked up Think and Grow Rich.
Okay, I've read that.
And so I read it, and it was so good. I don't know why. I read it before, but this time it was so good. And I read it in like 4 days.
Oh, you had some time.
And yeah, I was locked in.
Okay.
And I was like, oh man, I got to pick another book. Otherwise, I'm not going to have 12 books for next year. And so I picked another book. My friend gave me a book, The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster.
Okay.
And that one was really good. And so I read that in like a week. And I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute, I've read 2 books in 2 weeks. If I could do this for a year, I could read 50 books. And so I started doing the math. And if the average book, let's say, is 210 pages. If you read 30 pages a day, that's a book in a week. Now, depending on your reading speed, that's like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? Depending on a few factors. So what is that? An episode of Seinfeld. It's not that much time. And so I committed. Every morning I wake up, I would have my smoothie, I'd go for a run, I'd come back and shower, and I'd read. And I did that for a year. And I accidentally read 60 books. Some of them were like real short, but it was good.
Yes,
so I say, oh, that counts.
It'll count. It's interesting you say that. My brother uses that similar model. He reads every morning because, and he goes to the library on the week.
Shout out to the local library.
Yeah, shout out to Dion for going to the local library. He's very inspiring. He definitely keeps me on point. I'm like, okay, he's reading again. Let me make sure I read my book. So in our community, we do have a book of the month too. So nice. I'm glad that you said that it is an attainable thing. 30 minutes, 30 pages, give or take, half an episode of Housewives. You said Seinfeld.
I did tell him my age on that one. That is it. So how does that answer your question? I'm reading these different books and I'm starting to see what's possible.
Mm.
And I'm reading about people buying football teams and buying hotels and buying casinos. And I'm reading about people selling companies. And I'm reading about people that were just tired of being sick and tired and
Yeah.
say, hey, I'm going to do something about it. So they taught themselves a skill, whether it's sales or trading or leadership. And I read a book by John Maxwell, and he writes on leadership. He's written 30 books on leadership.
Mm.
And I said, man, I want to go that deep on one topic.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I started to, that's where I became an entrepreneur. I think it starts up here first.
Yeah.
I believe that, hey, it's possible. These are people that some went to school, some didn't go to school. Some had a little money to start, some had no money to start. Some had kids, some didn't have kids. So I realized it's not your circumstance that changes your options. Maybe the difficulty, we can't ignore that. It doesn't change your options. It was just the decision they made to do something different. So I made a decision. Say, hey, I want to create income on my own schedule, adding my value in my way, being myself. And fast forward, I did. And I
Yeah.
am.
I feel you on that. I think the moment I really realized I was an entrepreneur was when my mom paid for my trademark as a Christmas
Ooh,
present. As a Christmas present. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what I wanted. And then I was like, oh, I could put it on shirts. I could do this. Like it opened a whole another door of, oh no, you really doing this. Like you really
mhm.
have created something. And my best friend, he worked for the patent and trade office. And we actually did it without him, which was, he's like, oh, well, good job. Cause he was busy doing other stuff.
Okay, okay.
Oh yeah, he was super supportive to making sure we were foundationally sound when we got started. So I think that was the part too that I realized, oh, I am in business. Like I
Mhm.
am doing something that hasn't been done before. I created something that didn't exist,
Mm,
and it'll be here when I'm gone. It'll be here when
that's
I'm
beautiful. So wait, let me ask you this. I think protecting your identity and your protecting your business is important.
gone.
Do I need to have my trademark to get started?
No, I recommend most people get their LLC and the EIN number first,
Okay.
because you can start off one name, but you can always get a DBA and do business as something else.
Okay.
And you have to do some research to make sure that you can get some of the domains. Like right now, we're on LinkedIn and we're on YouTube and Instagram. You need to make sure that you can, if you pick a name that you're going to trademark, that you can even have it and that you can even use it and that you can put it on things. And it's not worth the money if you're not set up properly foundationally to just collect money in the first place. Because, like you said, you collected money. Did you do it legally? Or, and that we can go into that a little bit, is this a hobby, a side hustle, or
Right.
a real business? So,
So I think that listen, see a tax professional, right? This is not
I
legal
got one for you.
advice.
Hit us up if you
But
need one. I got one of my advisory boards.
under a certain amount, I don't think you're going to get in too much trouble. $100, the IRS is not going to come looking
Nah.
for it. However, there's a point. The simplest piece of advice I'm going to give you is, okay, well, when do I get my trademark? Is when the business pays for the trademark.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you can get to a point where a client hands you X number of dollars, you deliver, the client's satisfied, they're happy, ask them for a referral, take that money and pour it back into the business. I don't believe it takes money to make money. I
No.
think it takes an idea, it takes a customer. I will agree that it takes money to make money faster, right? It's a lot easier to make money if you can grab tools like StreamYard, if we can grab a microphone, if I can grab a
Mhm.
headset, right? I don't want that to stop you. So if you're like, well, I don't have a trademark yet, I don't want to get started. No, get started, take that money, and then use that
Yeah.
to buy a trademark. Just put that on your list of priorities.
Yeah, and I always say the EIN LLC route, because there are benefits from being an entrepreneur
Absolutely.
if you
Step
have
one.
that. Step
Absolutely.
one is, if you're gonna do and you're gonna run around in your car, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you protect yourself too, and that you get as many benefits as you can, because you're already starting in a hard industry to become an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
So I would definitely say that. And then as far as the trademark, you also have to know, what are you trademarking? Like, are you gonna
Right.
are you gonna, if you're selling personal training. You don't necessarily need a trademark name to sell training, but I wanted to sell other things like apparel. So then, I wanted it to be able to put it on other things so that when I have wellness events, no one can say I can't use it or someone else is randomly using it. Ironically, HLS is Harvard Law School, but they didn't get it.
Swear.
I mean, it's HLS.
Yeah.
And it happened to put collective behind it, but presently in Maryland, I mean, they can't have it.
That's the flex. No, I'm big. When I started my business, and this is today the most profitable business I ever had. There was no website, there was no business cards. It was just clients giving revenue. Like everything was profit. And so ratio wise, it may not have been the highest grossing revenue, but it was the highest profitability because of how simple I kept that business. Nowadays, like, because it's only so long before I'm going to mention. So I wrote Better Questions, Better Clients. It's my 4th book. And I got my copyright in the mail maybe a week or 2 ago, right? You've got to protect what you create. And like you said, after I'm gone, this book is still going to be telling the story.
Absolutely.
But one thing for me, and I have this question for you, I feel like I was an entrepreneur for 4 or 5 years before I even had a business name. So I didn't have anything to trademark at first, but I was still in business.
Yeah.
What do you say to someone who's trying to come up with a perfect name?
That's a great question. And I tell people this all the time. It took me 3 months to come up with HLS Collective. However,
tell them what it stands for.
Healthy Lifestyle Collective. Yes. So it's a holistic approach to wellness. So I didn't want it to be Tasha's Gym or somebody's fitness because I knew I needed some space to grow with the name. But that is not what my LLC is called.
Okay.
So what did you say? Speed, success like speed?
Absolutely.
I got an LLC 3 months before we got the name under a whole nother Aware Fitness just so that I could get started. And then I got a DBA. And so I feel you. People, it did take time. We had brainstorming sessions. We whiteboarded. Then once we liked the name, we had to find out, can I get all the domains? Can I get the .com, .org, .net? Can I get the IG? Can I get this? We had to make sure that it was, before I committed to the name, can I even have the name? And that's how we settled on HLS Club. But it did take months, but to not slow it down, because business, I was already doing business.
Right.
So I tell people, don't worry about the name. Get started. Get the EIN number. They can use that. They'll match it. There's a space for it that asks you what you decide to call it. And then if you decide to segue off, you can keep adding to it. And
that's the part I was trying to tell one of my good friends. Shout out to Colin White. He wants to write a book about his life. But he said, well, I'm not really that old. And I said, just write another book then.
Yeah.
Register another LLC, open another business. If you write, let's just use this book. Let's say I decided, man, I really don't like that title. Oh, well, I guess I could never write another book. You hear how silly that sounds? Go write a book with the right title.
Yeah.
And give yourself permission to evolve. Give yourself permission to change.
A good friend of mine who's a producer, he said, Taj, if you've done anything more than 5 years, you have to start documenting. Like you have to document it.
Ooh, that's good advice.
Yeah. And I thought, I'm like, dang, if I just did the first 5 years of my successful life, I would have been a dancer. It would have been all about dance and what I did. I did Dance Theater Harlem, Alvin Ailey, Nickelodeon. I did all those things before I was 21. I'm 45 years old now.
Okay, we go gloss over all that lore. You just drop hella flexes.
Yeah, but if you break it down in fives like that, you have something to say. And if you are an entrepreneur, you have to expect that who you are today in 5 years. That's why people have 5-10-year plan. You're not going to be the same human. You're going to be. You will have learned. You have grown. You might have changed your mind. You might have changed your business name. But exactly. And but once you're in it and you commit to it, that's the fun part. I can even use like being married. It's way more fun to sit in this committed space because we don't have to worry about that no more.
Man, I'll tell you, I don't want to turn this into a dating show, but
we got to go there. I got some gems for that too. I met my husband in high school. No, we did not date in high school.
Okay.
had a whole other boyfriend and stuff. But we did end up getting together years later. But it is something about having that consistency
It
that
is.
brings some joy in your life, because it's one part of your brain with all the things going on, which Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck is one of my favorite books. It kind of clears out the muck. And once you commit to entrepreneurship, not even that you have to give up your full-time job, but if you commit to the cause of it,
Mhm.
oh man, it is freeing to know you can create something.
It's magical. It's, if I can use that word. And I like what you said, commit. I don't believe, one of my favorite lessons, I'll tell this story sometime, but she's like, you don't have to be sober for the rest of your life. You just have to be sober today. She wasn't talking to me, but I was listening. That's really good advice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something I've taken into entrepreneurship. You don't have to be a millionaire today. You don't have to quit your job today, but what's the step forward today?
Yeah.
What's that $10, $100 you can earn today towards being a millionaire or towards quitting your job? I'm a huge component of both, because if you build a business that allows you the free time where you can still do a great job at work and still have the business, then you got two sources of income and the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But the most important part is to be committed. Say, hey, I'm going to figure it out. It has to work or it has to work.
Yeah. And I think you're right. And I think people don't have to be fearful. Let's just say you do jump all in like I did. If you decide to go back to work, it's okay too. Like, it doesn't have to be an all or nothing. Like, people have made up these.
Well, hold on. But if I go back to work, that's giving up. I feel like I failed.
Well, that's a personal feeling. That's not a reality. Your failure is determined by you. Like, if you decide you decide you want more and you have the bandwidth to go get it, then get up and go get it. Sometimes I look at my business and I go, I have bandwidth for a podcast with my cousin. So let's plug that in. Was that on my Q4 goal list? Not even a little bit. But here we are. But I think that people try to live up to these standards and statistics and rules when people are breaking the rules every freaking day. I mean, on mic recorded breaking, like, So it's like, we are all unique individuals. We were all put on this earth to do unique things, and to try to put yourself in said box of work, don't work, half get married, don't get married. It's made up. It's all made up. Like, work was all relative, depending on what year you were born. Circa 3,000 years ago, you might have been working in Egypt. You're like, all I do is philosophize all day. That's what I do. And that's what I'm good at.
Do it. Whatever it is, do it. Be your best at it.
Be the best you could be. I mean, the world needs the individuality.
It really does. Okay, so what about it's saturated? That's my favorite one.
Oh, people tell you that first of all, I'm a personal trainer. It's quadruply saturated right now. When I started, there were no women trainers. There definitely were no Black women trainers. People were walking in like, is she old enough to be a trainer? Like, it wasn't cool yet. It wasn't on the internet, any of that. So, I mean, saturation is relative. There's not that many people like me who've been a personal trainer for 23 years. So is it really saturated? And there's still levels to it. There's trainers that are good at different things. Some are better at nutrition. Some are better at powerlifting. And I think that if you're bringing something unique to an industry, there's blue ocean strategy to be had.
That's it right there. That's a gem. What do they say these days? Bars, gems, nuggets?
You ever read that book, Blue Ocean Strategy? It's a book.
I absolutely have.
Yes.
We should
start our book list.
Grab we'll make a note, have the AI grab a list of all the books we mentioned.
Okay.
We gotta be up to 5 right now.
Okay.
So check out what she just said. Let's say it's a saturated market. Let's just use physical fitness training. If you really love it, but you're like, man, there's a lot of people doing this, find out a new way to approach an old task. That's number one. Number two, find a new group of people to do it for. So I've seen folks say, hey, you have to earn $250,000 a year or more to be in my program. So he does busy, high performance C-suite males. I've seen someone say, hey, this is just for pregnant women. right?
Mm-hmm.
There really is riches in the niches. Another one that I just now figuring out is take something old and bring it to a new group of people.
Yeah.
So, what does it look like to start a fitness program in a rural area? I don't know, with
Yeah.
farmland, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many ways to innovate without even having to invent.
Yes.
And it's 2025 now. Whenever you're watching this, technology just makes that easier and easier and easier.
Yes. I mean, I always think about the Facebook. Like, it wasn't the first one. We had Black Planet, we had MySpace, you had all these other things that came before it. Like you said, sometimes you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to make it a little different, tweak it here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think and this is something I have to tell my clients, like, don't make up the reason if it doesn't even exist yet. Like if you're giving me excuses before you even tried, is it even real? Or is it just negative self-talk out of fear?
Hold on, let that breathe. If you make up excuses before you even try, is it even real, or is it just negative self-talk? That's a powerful reflection.
You know?
If you're a journal person, make that your journal reflection.
Yeah.
Um,
Because that's what I get a lot of that though. Because of my industry, I get a lot of highly intelligent, smart people who reason themselves out of the right things that they should do.
I think smart people are the worst entrepreneurs.
Oh
Honestly,
my goodness. And clients. Sometimes they're the worst clients because
I can
they're
see
so
that.
they're so smart in their day-to-day life, and they're the boss and they're telling people what to do, that they find ways to justify their habits and behaviors, even though they've hired me to be their expert,
Right.
to give them the answer to the test, and it's open book.
That's one thing. So shout out, everybody gets a shout out. Shout out to Andre C. Hatchett, good friend of mine, client, mentor. He'll say all the time, he's like, man, I'm not that smart. Or he was a substitute teacher. And he'll tell you, he's like, I'm not being self-deprecating. I know I'm not the smartest person in the room. He said, but I'm the fastest executor. And I'm not counting his pockets. He'll share this publicly. He's I think it's up to $305,000 in digital products in the last few years because he figured out how to help one group of people solve one problem, and he did it over and over and over and over again.
And that's the hardest part with entrepreneurship.
Oh yeah,
that you'll find that one thing 5 years ago, and then the industry changes, the markets change. I mean, COVID did it alone. Everybody was on the internet exercising and showing you their workouts and all. Like, it really shifted kind of quickly. And some of us, like I did, went more business as opposed to online marketing. And some people went full on influencer with no business, and so it's interesting to see how it's developed over the last few years and where people are landing, because you have to be malleable.
That's probably one of those unexpected lessons from entrepreneurship is resilience, is being flexible, being malleable. If you're unwilling to change, you will fail.
Yeah.
But not even a mistake, but like a permanent failure. You have to be able to adapt.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you an example. One of my first wellness events, when the world opened back up, I had a challenge. I was doing a challenge party, website popping, did all the things. And the day before my event, the website broke. Not just crashed, it broke. Like, squiggly. It had been perfect for 3-4 months. And Wix experts, we got all the way to the top. They could not figure out why it broke. And for me, that felt like a failure, because the whole point was to have this event, to get the capture, to do the thing through the website, and I had no website. And it was
so did you still have the event?
Absolutely. Was there a workaround? Was it awesome? Still had digital content, had a photographer, did all the things. And got my money back from Wix, indeed. But lesson learned that one failure doesn't stop the show. And things that you may build up in your mind, a reason not to start, the scarcity, all those things, though again, I go back, that's just negative self-talk.
Right.
You
There's
know.
there's lots of reasons not to start. There really are. And there might be good reasons, but you have to ask yourself, okay, do I want this outcome? If the answer is yes, you say, do I believe that this action is a step forward towards that outcome? If the answer is yes, take that step. I'm always going to tell you to see the biggest result for the lowest risk, right? I'm not
Mhm.
going to tell you to sell your house and your car. So, man, I got to make $1 million by this Friday or I'm going to be homeless. But I want you to have that level of commitment and say, okay, well, what's the smallest action I can do today that's
Yeah.
for progress? And that's really where I've succeeded. That's why I read books. So you say, well, Bruce, I don't want to read 60 books. The average American, last I checked, reads zero 0.8 books a year. All right. That means they're either starting books and not finishing them, or it takes 5 years to read 4 books.
Mhm.
All you have to do to be above average is read one book. So I think I said 210 pages. It's an average, self-help book, business book, leadership development. Let's say it's 300. Fine. Let's say it's 300 pages. If you read just 10 pages a day, just 10 minutes, you say, well, Bruce, I got kids. Everybody can't sit around for 30 minutes reading. Fine. We'll give you that excuse for now. What does 10 pages look like? So
Yeah.
now all of a sudden I'm reading a book a month. That's 12 books a year. Do you think your life will be better, worse, or the same if you read 10 pages every day this year?
Right.
That's it.
That's
And so
it.
now move that to your business. If I just tell 10 people on LinkedIn, if I just go live for 10 minutes,
Mhm.
if I just write 10 pages, man, I've been meaning to write this book forever. What if I just wrote 10 sentences? What's the smallest increment of forward progress you can do? And listen, you'll look up a month from now, you're not going to see any progress. 90 days, you're not going to see any progress. A year from now, you're going to, oh, wow, Bruce was right. Reading 60 books really isn't that hard.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a good start is to you have to kind of you have to make a decision what success really means to you.
Ooh. So how do you define success?
Well, it's interesting. Me and my husband were talking about this yesterday, and
Mm.
we both feel like we've always been successful.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not too many things that if I put my mind to it, that I'm going to be way above average at it.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, being above average is successful. Like you said, you use the point 0.8 books. So I'm a success if I finish one book.
That's it.
you know. So I think that people they have the fictitious societal thing they put on us what success could look like, but you really do have to decide what success is in your genre or in your life. I've been a successful dancer. I've been successful in corporate. Like I've
Mm-hmm.
found different ways, and it may not all be the same thing, but based on industry standard, it would be considered successful. And I don't try anything that I don't think I can out consistent most people.
That's it. I'm not better than too many people, but
Yes,
I'm more consistent than
I
almost everyone.
yes, I learned it in ballet. I have a level of consistency to know that I learned that plie, which means to bend, when I was 5 years old. And when I
Mm-hmm.
was 25 years old, that same plie was serving me well. And that
Mm-hmm.
because I had that foresight that young, the rest of the world gives me sky's the limit feelings. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't be surprised if I could fly an airplane when I turn 55. Like, don't be surprised, if I
Yeah.
choose to. So,
That's
what
a
would,
good feeling. That's a level of confidence I wish and pray upon everyone listening to this.
yeah.
You're like, hey, can I do that right now? No, but I can figure it out. And that's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not telling you that you can just snap your fingers and you're like, man, I can fly a plane. Like, no,
Yeah.
read a manual, go to flight school, get some flight hours, but you can do it. And that's all I need you to know.
Yeah.
It's
So
possible.
what do you wish someone told you before you jumped into entrepreneurship?
Results.
Results.
The only thing that matters is results.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like to read. And I get that. Shout out to mom, my first investor. Um, she would read. She would read a book a day. Like you thought 60 books in a year. If she had time, she would just read a book.
Mm-hmm.
And So I have to thank her for modeling that example. Like, knowledge is powerful, but you don't get paid for the accumulation of knowledge. And this
Mm-hmm.
is where smart people don't always do as well in entrepreneurship. You get paid for execution. One of my
Mm-hmm.
favorite examples, my buddies, we were in a group. My buddy's like, hey, we're looking for this person to fill this role. To send your resume to this email address. So I clicked on the email address. It attached. The subject line was my first name. The message was looking forward to talking, and hit send. 15 seconds, 20 seconds. There was all sorts of messages. Oh, what's the job title? How
Oh,
much does it pay? What format should my resume be in? What's the name of the person I'm talking to? And there's other people say, hey, can you look over my resume first? I gotta up. Meanwhile, I interviewed and they closed the role before some people even submitted their resume.
exactly.
And I'm confident there were people in there that were better,
Mm-hmm.
better fits, but no one will ever know because they didn't take action.
Yeah. Same with the dance
That's
form. Same thing. It's like you got to show up.
mhm.
Like I had a teacher. She said, "Dancers don't get sick. Go get some echinacea." But we were not allowed to miss class. They would lower our grade level, our
Oh
grade
wow.
in college. And we wore uniforms. Like it was very strict considering it was Fordham University in Ailey. But yeah, some things like that, like the show up part, like I said, I might not be the best, but I didn't miss any classes.
And
And by
that's
the end of that 4 years, I had a job with Nickelodeon.
see, excellence. We're gonna have to go down that story, but I want to ask you the same question.
Mhm.
What's something you wish you'd learned earlier?
Systems. Like
Hmm.
like really use your systems, get them in place, get your SOP in place, get your membership to your CRM set. I think that I kind of dabbled in it, but I didn't lean into it.
Sure.
And now I'm still using one. I still need one. So I think that as I was setting up foundationally, if I would have used some of those tools to put systems in place sooner, then I that it would have fared me well.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's the difference between self-employed and an entrepreneur and a business owner. It's a
Mm-hmm.
system. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good lesson.
And that brings results because then you get KPIs to see the results.
Truly.
So it goes hand in hand.
Yeah. I think that once you start focusing on getting results and getting the best results as quickly as possible, you will spend less time, not zero time, but less time learning, accumulating knowledge, and more time applying that knowledge.
Yeah, for
And you'll
sure.
make so much more money. I know I did. If you look over the years, I have a chart of tracking all the books I've read. And 1 year is 60, 1 year is 72. And then 1 year was like 35. And then next year was 20. And it's interesting, as the number of books I read went down, my income actually went up.
Mm,
And the difference was I was so busy working or telling folks, hey, one new skill will change your life. I want to make sales simple by teaching you to ask better questions and serving those clients. As a result of that, I had less time to read.
mm-hmm.
And then there's a very simple and obvious lesson there. Right? Reading books doesn't make you money, but applying what you read in those books does.
For sure. For sure. That's something that I definitely think is undervalued um, with people's like instantaneous information that's given. And I always say when people spout random things, I have to say, and where did that source come from? It's an
I'm
opinion, and I love telling my clients like, "Hey, this is not opinion. This is I have a source for this. So I know
right.
I'm saying it real, like, but this is not my opinion. Per science, sometimes per science.
That's a whole nother conversation about where we're getting that info from. And that's where it's been helpful having these different perspectives and borrowing experiences from other people. A book
Mm,
is the only place where I can learn from a billionaire, take their 10, 20, 30, 40 years of knowledge and experience and spend $25 for it.
yeah.
That's invaluable. That's an incredible investment. Um, but my personal experience has been the most valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to tell someone, like, hey, I know this doesn't work because I did it and it was
Yeah.
wrong. It turned out, well, here's what I did instead that does work.
That's something they can't take away is experience.
That's where I think we can beat AI is our stories and our personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we can keep our businesses human. I think AI is great. Yeah, and I use it almost daily.
Yes. Same. But I also, people laughing, but I like to stay in reality and
Hmm.
stay present with humanity
Hmm.
because that's really what drives me is obviously health and wellness, but the humanity of it all and the harmony of it all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how are you protecting your energy while you work both um, your job and your entrepreneurship?
I'm glad you asked that. I'm not doing a great job about that.
Okay.
Um, so my general answer is, and you saw me a moment ago, my notebook,
Mm-hmm.
um, exercise, rest, and quiet time.
Okay. So it sounds like you are.
Those are that's what
So
I
what you
do.
strive.
I've not been doing those consistently. I got to get back to
Ah,
consistently. But
okay.
honestly, the reason I'm any level of sane is because I've had those good habits in place.
Yeah. That's definitely something that I teach within our community is you say once what's yours one small
One
change,
one new skill will change
one
your
new
life.
skills. And I do believe one good habit change can change your life. You
Absolutely.
know, like one meal at a time. Can you just eat one nutrition meal a day? Like,
Mhm.
start with one. I think that's very important to saving your energy, whether you're an entrepreneur or a full time employee. That one thing a
That's
day makes a
yeah.
difference.
Add meal on there. Eating well has been a good one as well because you have more energy. That's where shout out to Michelle Welsh, one of my favorite clients. She said rest is a requirement, not a reward.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of my pillars. It's one of HLS's pillars is rest and recovery because
See,
you're
we here.
yeah, we got it, man. We're human. You have to have your water. You have to have your
Absolutely.
rest. You have to move your body.
But if you rest well, you can execute well. You can execute at a
Absolutely.
higher level, and that's where rest doesn't get in the way of your success. Rest is part of the path towards success.
Oh, it can't be done without it. And there's different levels to it. It doesn't necessarily have to be 8 hours straight or anything crazy like
Right,
that.
you don't have to
But
take
you have
a week off every month.
but, but you do have to turn off your TV and put your
Mm,
phone down and rest your
mm.
mind. You do have to like
That's where this comes in.
unplug. So I have my clients do a digital detox. I'm like, okay, you don't want to read? Fine, don't read, but get off the computer every night. Get off the TV. Do that. Go think.
Go
Just
think.
go think.
Listen. I'm telling you all, that seems so simple and easy to do is easy not to do. If you go walk for 20 minutes, no phone,
No phone.
no what them little
Watch Apple
Apple
Watches.
Watches.
Yeah.
It's going to be the longest 20 minutes of your life for the
Mm-hmm.
first, what would you say, 5, 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
But once you stop compulsively checking your pocket for a phone that's not there,
Mm-hmm.
once you stop wondering what the email notification text message says, you start looking around, you notice trees and like you hear birds and you
Mm-hmm.
get ideas and you have clarity and you solve problems. And not to mention what it does to your body moving for 20 minutes. Man, it absolutely changed your life.
Yeah.
Absolutely changed your life.
Yeah. I do antisocial Sundays. I try to do like twice a month where on Sundays, like I don't even, the phone has to be upstairs somewhere away from me
Hmm.
and just connected to humans. If I happen to come see a family member, daddy or somebody, or they stop by,
Hmm.
but gotta get a little antisocial on the social.
Hmm. I like that.
Hmm.
Might have to borrow that one.
Yeah. It's plenty of time to think when you put it down, when you
There's so
disconnect.
much here. Listener, you are so much smarter than you think you are, and
Hmm.
you know you are. You're just distracted.
You're just distracted.
You're just distracted.
I have to I give my clients an exercise sometimes when they say they don't have time. And I say, okay,
Oh, don't tell me that.
oh yeah, they do all the time. It's an
Tell me
easy
what
one.
you do. I'll tell you what I do. Never tell me
Well,
that.
first of all, I'll start off with like, okay, you have 168 hours in the week.
Hmm.
That's how many hours we have. And I just break it down. Let's just say I'm gonna give you 8 hours of sleep. Everyone says they don't get 8. I'm gonna give you 8.
Fine.
And I just break it down, whatever they told me their lifestyle was, and guarantee you it's almost always at least 20, 30 hours unaccounted for.
I've seen at least 20.
At least.
At least 20 because again, this is part of systems, people don't build a system for their life, and their
Right.
life's disorganized. They don't know what they're doing when they wake up. They don't have a night routine. And I'm talking to myself, but I hope somebody's listening.
Yeah,
And
I'm
so
listening.
all this time just passes by without you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some people are busy. I don't know how I did this. I worked 2 full-time jobs and was taking, was it 12 credit hours?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It wasn't a lot of time. However, I had a system and I used my time very, very well. There were some things I had to say no to.
Yeah.
Um, then when I was President's Club, I went to bed at the same time every day. Not 5 days, 7 days. I got up at the same time. It was exercise, breakfast, shower, read. Exercise, breakfast, shower, read. And I had the same schedule. So, you have kids in there. Sure. I know kids are a curveball.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you have life happens, but those should be exceptions because you
Yeah.
got systems in place.
And from what some of my clients say and friends say, like kids like structure too. They do better in some type of structure, whether it's a
I don't have any
bedtime.
kids yet, so I'm going to take your word for that one.
I've seen it. My clients that their kids have a time where it's like you don't have to be asleep, but you got to lay down. It is what it is. There is no iPad Monday through this day. Their emotional intelligence is higher. Like
Interesting.
you can see it. Like it's a big difference. And so I always share with other clients like, hey, this worked. Their temperament changed when they took it away. That's what we can I can go on and on about that. So we can talk about
Hmm.
that another day. But that's part of the structure that you created as an adult that you can teach to your children, which is why what I teach at HLS is set on pillars. They're things that you can teach your family. So if you hire me, it's something that you can teach your family. There's no gatekeeping here. Like this is a universal problem solving situation.
I
you
love
know,
it. That's what I love about what I do. I've gotten typecast as a sales trainer,
okay.
which we do offer sales training as part of New Skills New You. But that's like saying IKEA sells chairs. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're,
Exactly.
you're missing the point. What we do is let's just use better questions. That changes your business decisions. That changes your sales conversations. That changes your hiring decisions. That changes seeking investors. But guess what? That changes your romantic relationships. It
Mm-hmm.
changes your relationships with your family. It changes connection with your children. When you learn to ask better questions, so it comes all the way back around, right? One new skill will change your life. And
Mm-hmm.
so you can teach these things to your family and feel good about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could feel good about it. So now we're not just changing the clients' lives, we're changing their families' lives and the world around them. And
Yeah.
that's how we sleep good at night.
Yeah.
We sleep good making money because we know we've changed lives for the better.
Oh, for sure. Like we're not selling pins. Like what's like how do you feel about selling stuff? I'm like, I'm selling vitality and longevity. Like I feel I sleep amazingly because I know that's what I must have been put here to do. Like I really do care about my people and I really know that their quality of life will be better if they schedule a call with me. Like I can just pull that curtain back and say, hey, I hear you and I hear the reasons and I hear the obstacles. However, your lungs and joints and brain, they don't care. It doesn't care about that.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, you have to decide that you want to feel better. You mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you have to decide. It's your life. Your kids will eventually grow and hopefully be successful and they will move on. And you may still be here another 20, 30 years. Then what?
Then what?
You want to make sure that you can take yourself on vacation and get out of the bathroom if you're by yourself because your spouse or no spouse is there. There's things that if you attack it that way, you will feel good about your investment as well as your life.
That's Let's talk more about investing
Mm-hmm.
and in all sense of the word in our next conversation. I got to go support a client. We're going to teach a sales success course.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what can listeners look forward to on the Business Cousins podcast moving forward?
You know, I think what the takeaways will be is our journey as we meet on a week to week basis, because there's always something going on in my
Literally,
business.
literally.
Literally, like from setting up the tech to the lights, you name it, and building out our school community. I think to see how we're growing through our journey will be what we can share and have questions about. You can ask us questions and we can help filter out some of the noise.
Mm, okay. I love it. I love it.
What are your thoughts on it?
I'm just really impressed. So, okay, let's go back to the origin story. Oh shoot, was it you or me? Somebody said what up one day. It was just, hey cousin, how are you doing?
Oh, yeah.
And he said, hey, we're doing good. Let's catch up. And this is what I really like about Tasha. She said, when? Right. A lot of folks say, oh, let's catch up. And then you'll see them a year later. And they're like, oh, so good to see you. We should catch up. And you see them a year later. Okay, you get where I'm going.
Yeah.
So Success Love Speed, maybe the next day we hopped on, we started talking. And we just started cooking. And I was like, this is good. And so we scheduled another call and it's cooking. I was like, man, we need to document this. We were talking about working with families, with our family specifically. And I was like, man, we need to document this. And he said, well, I think this was your idea. He was like, well, let's do a podcast. And I said, done. I think we did a test the next week. We did a live maybe the week after. I had an emergency. We skipped a week, Thanksgiving, and now today. So last month we had the idea. This month we're executing. Success Love Speed. And I'll say that again. We grabbed our mics. I think I had to order this headset.
Yep. I magically had it in my home.
I'm still mad at that. You're like, oh, send me the list of what you bought. You're like, oh, never mind, I got it. Some of my favorite podcasts were started on an iPhone. So,
yeah,
I don't want you, wherever you are, wherever you're going, to feel that because you are where you are now, you can't go anywhere else.
Yeah,
because you can go anywhere else. So as you listen in, tell a friend to tell a friend. If you're interested in your personal professional development, whether you're a career professional or entrepreneurial, we are going to just share our journey, right? We're not going to tell you anything we haven't done. Yeah. We're going to, it's that cliche to say, just keep it real.
Keep it That's more cliche.
Yeah, we'll keep it 100. And because that's what I wish I had when I started.
Same.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to give.
In full transparency, I don't listen to podcasts often, so hardly ever. So this,
you don't listen to podcasts?
No.
Interesting.
I just, actually, it was your idea. I was like,
what was my idea?
Oh, yeah, it was your idea. You said you were thinking of doing one. I said, I've thought about it, but so we said, well, we only have to do this many to be successful. Let's do that many.
I think that number's like 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So welcome to the journey, everyone.
Welcome to the journey. Oh, that's good. That might be it to be the intro. Yeah. Welcome to the journey.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Tasha, thank you so much for sharing some of your day, your story with us. I appreciate it. I learned a lot. I have a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too.
What's the quote? What's the takeaway before we wrap?
I say the takeaway is hit me up at HLS Collective, HLSfit.com. If you need any wellness support, any habit support, and we plan on being here a while. So tap in with us. We look forward to working with you in any way, shape, or fashion, or just join our community. We both have communities. This is definitely a community-driven podcast.
Absolutely.
Why we did it with our cousins.
Oh yeah, we'll get links and everything. Listen, y'all gonna watch this. I've got this light hanging off the computer screen.
With tape, y'all.
Results. Done is better than perfect. And it's gonna improve. But you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to be started to be great.
That's right.
For me, listen, the questions you don't ask cost you money. So ask yourself, where do you want to go? How are you going to get there? Who do you need to help you along the way? I believe one new skill will change your life. And that's how I live my life. So as you explore, as you grow along the journey, I like that. Welcome to the journey. That might be get in the habit of asking better questions. And so until then, cheers to your success. And thanks for tuning in to the Business Cousins podcast.
That's right. See you guys next time.
Peace.